Happy Thursday to you. He made headlines around the world when he took a step back from the royal family. You know what I'm talking about, Prince Harry, and now he's making headlines again after taking a stand for racial injustice. Take a look.
Institutional racism has no place in our societies, yet it is still endemic. Unconscious bias must be acknowledged without blame to create a better world for all of you.
He recorded a message for the Diana Awards ceremony, which honors young people doing humanitarian work in the name of the late Princess Diana. Harry also said he and his wife Meghan Markle are, quote, committed to being a part of the solution and to being part of the change. Also trending, Spotify creates a new subscription tier that bundles 2 premium accounts into one. The new plan is called Spotify Premium Duo, and it's meant to be more affordable for 2 people under the same roof who want independent listening. A single plan right now is $9.99, but the Duo plan is $12.99, giving both users premium accounts.
That's a promise that I gotta keep. So maybe it's my graduation party.
Woo, check him out. Nothing like a young king with skills. I would call him a kid, but he's really a king in my eyes. This 5-year-old celebrates his kindergarten graduation on the drums, playing to the song Graduation by Jonathan McReynolds. Hey, he's got some talent, and a big congratulations to him as he moves on to the 1st grade.